I will give you a tour today. Nice to meet you all. I'm doing very well, by the way. Nice and warm.
So you got a long one today.
Yeah. So a few different groups in the boat today. See you guys in the front. Where are you from?
Australia.
Australia. So I think regardless, you win on furthest away today.
Yeah.
And then you guys in front of them. Where are you from?
We're from Cambridge.
From Cambridge. Okay. So you've been punting before?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't. So
And you have. And then you guys here, where are you from?
Kent.
Kent. Hell of a way away. And then you guys here, where are you from?
California.
Wonderful. Whereabouts in California?
LA.
Gorgeous. Very gorgeous. I'm from Cambridge, as to be expected. Sorry for this point. And before you ask, no, I'm not a student here at Cambridge University. I'm afraid I have to disappoint. I'm not. They turned me away. They said I was too smart, so I had to go down to Bristol instead and studied architecture there for 4 years. But I'm not a student. Today we're going to be going a mile down the River Cam, turning around and coming back the same way. We're seeing everything twice. And if you have any questions along the way, please just fire away. This is my 6th summer doing this, so I probably should know the answers by now. You can only hope. If not, I'll make up something very believable.
Just sound confident.
Yeah.
No more questions.
No problem. So today we're going to be seeing 7 colleges and 9 bridges of Cambridge University. And once we pass the very first bridge, we're going to be seeing nothing but the university. Now, do you guys understand how the university works? Not like most universities across the world. So it's a collegiate system, okay? So the university is made up into different colleges. The grand total of 31 colleges span across Cambridge. Far too many, doesn't make any sense. But today we're going to be seeing 7 of them push back onto the river. It used to be the case that you'd go to one of the colleges and they would offer a specific subject, but now they all offer the same. And bear with me now, it's kind of similar to Hogwarts, okay? So Hogwarts has 4 houses, Cambridge University has 31 colleges, and all it really means is where you sleep and who you hang around with, okay? They also have their own sports teams and they all compete between the colleges, but pretty much it's just so you live.
Really? If you must tell him. Yeah, I know. And then he just spent the whole
Let's see if I know. Thought you would have jumped in right now. Went the whole day and then like just as we were like coming on, she was getting out and then it was actually it was in college. No, I think it was like in September. Oh really? Yeah, she was just and it wasn't this kind of work in September. This is very unusual.
So from this point onwards, everything we're seeing, every single building, all the land as well, all is part of Cambridge University. And we're just coming to the largest college in Cambridge, St John's College, which was founded in 1511 by Lady Margaret Beaufort. So this is the largest college in Cambridge. And to my right here we have the most gorgeous building on the river. This lovely brutalist building here. Everyone loves the concrete. Not so much Richard. I personally quite like this building, but not many people do. One man that definitely did it was the man that opened this building, Prince Charles himself, now our king. Yeah, in 1965 he opened this building. Why they chose him, I have no idea. He's famously not a fan of modern architecture. So when he opened this building here, he cut the ribbon and he said, "I now pronounce this car park open." And left right away. Compare it to a multi-story car park, which kind of makes sense. But believe it or not, both these buildings here, both the one with the ivy and the lovely Brutus building, are both accommodation for the students. Now, obviously, I'd much rather live in the one with the big windows looking out of that one there, rather than the other way around.
It's student accommodation. Yeah. Still got a lot. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so everything around us now is all part of St John's. To my right, new court, the accommodation building built in 1823. And on my left is the old library built in 1624. And joining the two together is the Bridge of Sighs. And that size is in rather than how big it is. Some people where English is their second language, they don't understand. But, size. It was originally called Newbridge. It joined to New Court until Queen Victoria came to visit Cambridge. She stood on the bridge ahead of us there. She looked over and said, "Oh, it was just at the Bridge of Sighs in Venice." Now, she had never been to Venice before. She had never seen the Bridge of Sighs. I was there a couple of years ago, I saw it, and they look nothing alike. The only two similarities being, yes, it is a bridge, and yes, it has a roof, but apart from that, completely different. No one disagreed with her, everyone was far too scared, so from that point on, it was the Bridge of Sighs. The Bridge of Sighs in Venice got its name as it joined a courtroom to an execution chamber. So when these Venetian prisoners would be sentenced to death, they would walk across that bridge in Venice, take their very last views over the city, and take their very last side. Similar to this one here, it joins the accommodation to the exam hall for their final exams, to the last side. And afterwards, the Bridge of Cries. Yeah, this is my least favourite bridge on the river. For obvious reasons, we call this Concussion Bridge. In here, there are grand pianos in as well. So if the very best students of King stay here, that means the very worst must have to stay in that building there. That is the Erasmus building, designed by Sir Basil Stokes, who studied at Oxford. And it said he tried to leave the ugliest building he could here in Cambridge. And he tried his very best. Yeah, I did my dissertation on one of his other buildings, the Coventry Cathedral. This one not quite so well in the dissertation. It's supposed to be a reflection of the other side of the river. The columns at the bottom to be the trunks of the trees, the building itself to be the body of the trees, and then those white concrete slabs on the top to be the clouds in the sky. Personalities, yeah, I don't know about you guys. Not so much. He's one of the only architects to never be invited back to Cambridge. Designer being cool. Okay guys, just mind your hands on the side of the boat there. Yeah, right there, man. It's going to be a little bump.
Yeah, let's go.
Hands up. I would have just had to they make it should be finished. It's way too much effort. Yeah. Especially in this one. Yeah.
Part of the trick is to the stone banks. It's just sat there. So there's a lot stronger at the picture.
Right, so we just passed under the famous mathematical bridge there. Towards the mathematical bridge, as it is a segment of a perfect circle. Straight bits of timber here at the perfect angles where they form the illusion of a curve around the river. And this is where we're going to turn around so everyone can get a good shot of it. Yeah, someone else called it Newton's Bridge. They thought it was designed and built by Sir Isaac Newton. But I'm afraid that can't be true. He died 20 years before, definitely wasn't. Was some of his students thought. In my opinion, the best thing about this bridge here is nothing holding it down. There's no bolts going to the bank, it's just sat there. So if you had a crane, you can pick it right up. And the theory is the more load you have on the top of the bridge, the more it presses down and out into the bank, making it stronger. And it connects to the President's Lodge, the oldest building on the river. This lovely red brick building here. Built in 1460. And can you guys see these tiny windows in the side of the building? See how ridiculously small they are? Anyone know why they'd be so ridiculously small? Because of a thing called window tax. Some people say tiny students, other people say art trees. Not tiny students. Yeah, window tax. So back in the day, the way the lords of the land would tax the rich, they tax you for how much glass you had in your house. So either how big your windows were, how many windows you had. So what they do, they make the windows smaller or brick them up just to save a few quid. And that's where we get the saying daylight robbery. Because they were robbing the daylight, which is personally my favourite fact of the tour. Oh, the nugget of trivia, ready for a pub quiz. Sacha Baron Cohen studied here at Cambridge University. His very first depiction of Borat was actually in Cambridge. Yeah. It's cool. And then we've come back to the grounds of King's College now. Home to some of the best pranks here in Cambridge. Pranks by a group of students called the Night Climbers, who would climb at night playing pranks across the city. And one night, one of these students climbed to the top of the King's College Chapel there and put a traffic code on the top left spine. It took the college 2 days to put scaffolding up before they could take it down again. But just before they did, one of the students climbed back up to the traffic going down and put on the other spine. Another time, about 30 years before, in 1956, a group of the students, they managed to get the Master of King's car, his Austin 7, on top of that white building there. So the Master woke up and his car was sat on top of the roof.
I'm taking a picture of you.
And for 40 years, no one knew how they did it. But what they actually did, they took it apart piece by piece, carried all the pieces to the top of the building, and put it back together again, all in one night, and all without being seen. Yeah, but they were anonymous for 40 years, so for that long, no one knew how they did it. But they obviously retired and got bored, so they had this. Yeah, so it turns out it was 12 engineering students from another college, Gomble and Keys. The most unbelievable thing about the story is that the way they distracted everyone on the street while they were doing it, all these engineering students got their girlfriends to distract everyone and sort of bounce around and everything. And that's the most unbelievable thing. 12 engineering students having girlfriends. King, of course, yeah, he just wasn't very good. He originally wanted to go to Oxford University, but didn't quite have the grades to get in, so what he did, he got his mum to write a letter to the Master of Trinity, and that seemed to work out for him. I'm not sure if a letter from my mum would hold the same weight, but there we go. And when he first came here, he wanted to be a normal student, he wanted to blend in. He didn't want to be known as Prince Charles, just Charlie. So on his very first day, he arrived by helicopter, landed on the green there and walked over the Trinity Bridge just like a normal student would. And for the next 3 years had a bodyguard with him the whole time, again, just like a normal student. This bodyguard came to all his lectures with him, helped him with his homework. So, after they, at the end of the 3 years when they were doing all the exams, this bodyguard was given a chance to take the final exams. Not to get a degree, I'm afraid, but just to see how we do. And if it had meant anything, he would have got a better grade than Prince Charles. Getting a 2-1 or Prince Charles with a 2-2. But he's done pretty well out of it. As an effect of his career too much. A 2-3 wasn't. There we go. The Pims front is out and about. I'm afraid you guys came a little bit too early. Now you know for next time.
They just like,
They do. If I'm very nice to them, they give it to me. It's the incentive for the punters to bring boats over to them. So we'll give you a free drink. It's a very good incentive. It's pretty dangerous. We do a thing called the Punter's Lemonade, which is half lemonade, half gin, which is pretty shocking.
fix the afternoon.
Your tour takes a big dive. Well, it goes really good for a little bit and then big dive.
The afternoons are a bit wavy.
Yeah.
And you go to one of them and we're going to see your pictures there. It's so awkward. How do you get in the dancing room and you see your gaze each other? Another cool person who went to Cambridge, the first ever 007 went to St John's. So his name was John Dee, and he was Elizabeth's first spy master. And he used to write her letters in code in the end, so you could sign up as a 007 for the casting. You were at gym? Like gym with you? I was at gym with 5, I think. I started ballet. Doing gymnastics. I stopped gymnastics. First one.
St John's students love pranks and stuff. See his daughter on the right here? It's an old trade door. And one night some of the second years wanted to play a prank on the first years but didn't know the business too well. So what they did, they changed all the fire exit signs, pointed them all to that door there. So the fire alarm off, they ran away from the fire, they ran straight into the river. Prank I like to play, if you guys look just up there, see on top of that building there it says the ILCS. That stands for I Love California State. Huh? Hey. No, it's just Latin, it's very, very boring. But that one's way more fun. So. Type out a Chinese school kid.